This E-2 case might be one of the most difficult E-2 cases we did all of last year. This Thai restaurant owner shut down the business because of COVID, had to merge and acquire another business when the finances didn't look strong, and then had to leave the country but did not go back to the original country, went to a third-party country, went to Mexico to get the E-2. She doesn't speak Spanish. Everything was on the line. We prepared this case. The case was approved. Let me walk you through how. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. And so we worked on this case for easily over a year. Business shutting down, so it's gonna be impossible to renew the E-2, so needed to buy another company. And then buying the company and all the business transactions in between to make sure that the purchase was E-2 qualified, right? The ownership needs to make sense, the funding needs to make sense, the operation needs to work, and what is she gonna buy? So we went on a shopping spree to find the right company that she was going to purchase and transfer the funds from the original business that she closed down over. There wasn't a lot, but still did it and traced everything back. And then to argue that this new business under the old business, right, the new business under the old corporation qualifies as the original business, and originally was going to go back to Thailand to apply for the E-2, but for various family reasons couldn't go back, and so needed to do it in Mexico. She doesn't speak Spanish, she's terrified, and so we had to orchestrate and coordinate with the Mexican consulate, which doesn't like to do visas for any other country. But they have been gracious enough to extend it on a case-by-case basis. We reached out, we explained the situation, they permitted it, and the client prepared everything, we prepped everything. She went in, came back out, had the visa, and was able to fly back, and now everything is good. That was so much work, but we were responsible to help her secure the first few E-2 visas, right? And so we've always been there, helped her do everything. And now business closed down, but she still needed an E-2 visa. She built a life here in the United States. You know, COVID was just so brutal, right? And so had to shut down the visa or else she would bleed out her entire life savings. And it's understandable, right? It's understandable from a business perspective. It makes the case hard, but she had to do what's right for her family. And so what we need to do is to do right to the client and make the best argument. So we have to go in detail explaining everything and providing all the previous documents and trace it all back. Luckily, we had most of them. Well, we have all of them because we've been the attorney on record for all of that. So we were able to pick out, piece it together, and explain it very clearly. The ownership changed so much over the years, but we just narrowed it down to what is it now and why does it qualify? And that's where we spend like a good year doing, right? And providing and proving that. So there's absolutely no doubt, right? And so that's our like 10, 15 documents proving that she has the ownerships. The enterprise is currently running, right? It's bona fide, it's real. And so again, we listed out everything about the new business. Never mind that, you know, it was just purchased not too long ago. Never mind that there was a gap within her E-2 status, but we showed that there's this continuation, right? Which in itself, just because your business closed down doesn't mean the company closed down, right? Right? You get that distinction? Just because, you know, maybe the sale of your bananas is not selling doesn't mean your corporation ceases to exist. There is a sabbatical grace period, essentially. Nothing defined in the law, but, you know, well, you sold bananas are out, now you're selling chickens, and that's fine. They don't sell bananas or chickens, they're a restaurant business, so they went from one restaurant to another restaurant, and so we showed a lot of what this new restaurant is doing, how it's operating, etc. The investment is substantial. That is very, very arguable, and we were really worried about this because the investment from the old company to the new company is not that much money. It's not that much money, especially because the old company completely shut down, right? But we went in depth to talk about how she originally invested a lot already to start up the old business. But the new business, because she has all the experience, she has all the employees still, the connections, the network, and the brand, it will be able to survive and sustain. So you don't necessarily need to invest that much. You don't have to invest a lot of money. Right? There's nothing that says that. You just have to prove that you've invested enough to get the company running and going, and so that's not marginal. So we were able to lean on the fact that she had this restaurant ownership experience, and she had all the connections, and so that she knew how to do it, so she doesn't need to invest like other E2 people doing it for the first time. It was already running. She's just buying it, improving it, and operating. There's already cash flow, and it's just enough. It's a stretch of an argument, but we did it, and it worked. That was the crazy E2 case that we had to do. Think about how many legal expertise we needed to bring to the table to make this happen, right? So first the E2, then all the business transaction, the purchase, and then the counseling, right? And then dealing with the consulate overseas, and then coordinating, and then buying the shares, and then transferring, and then doing the business plan, right? I don't know how many versions of this, because this wasn't, the only business on the table. We had to like scout out multiple businesses, and we had to like negotiate with all the shareholders. So this was a lot of work, but again, this family is really, really important to us. We've been with them for so long. They've been with us for so long. To let them down now, that's just unthinkable. So win at all costs. That was the directive. That was the brief. And Andy did it. Bravo. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Andy can answer your questions. Take care. Bye-bye.